job. Tip number 3, you're not going to like this one. Take any job you can get. Any job. Listen to me. Be willing to take a job even if it's what you think beneath you. You have to say yes to a job. You need work. You need to get a win. You just had a little loss. You need a little win now. Get a job. Stay connected to the workforce. Working is important. Stay connected to people. Stay connected to the workforce, to the employment force, to the people that are contributing, working together, teaming together, integrated to a community. This is very, very valuable for you right now. Forget how much the pay is for a second. I know you need money. I know you have bills. I understand. Listen to what I'm telling you. Don't walk off that job. Yes, you're in transition. Don't walk away from an opportunity. What you used to get paid means nothing right now. I see so many people make this mistake. Well, I used to be paid 60 grand at my last job, and now you guys are offering me 48. I can't take that. Last job's over. Get to 0. Get back into the future, not the past. Stay connected. Get connected to a job, to a place to work right now, even if they're paying almost nothing. I'm going to remind you right now about a mistake that you made already, which was leaving the job you had. 2 things you lost. You lost the money and the position. You should have said, yes, no more money. You can't pay me anymore. I get it, but I'm not leaving. I'll stay for nothing. You didn't do that. By the way, you could go back to that company and say, hey, you know what? I left yesterday. I left this morning. I left last week. You had to let me go. I want to stay here. I want to work here, and I'll do it for nothing. I watch people during economic contractions unable to move to the next thing because they're stuck on what the last thing was. That's why you walked out, because they said they couldn't pay you anymore. And all you had to say was what? Don't pay me anymore. I'll stay and work. Don't do this, staying stuck in the past. If you have to work for nothing, do it. Get over your ego. Get over your sense of value of self. Get over, I'm worth more than that. I know it's hard to swallow, but you need to stay on the field. You need to get on the field. You need to get yourself in play. You can't get to first if you don't go to bat. If you're not on the field, you can't be in the game. Get in the stadium. You're not even in the stadium. You're at home. Put yourself in play, as we say in deal making. If you're out of work today, find somewhere you could work this afternoon or tomorrow. Who could you work for? Where could you spend some time? Who could you contribute to? Where could you go hang out? Even if you had to take something beneath you, do it. Don't let your ego get in your way. Do not compare yesterday, last week, last month, last year, the last economy all over, the last title you had, the last position you had, the last desk or location in the office you had. It's time to reboot, to transition. Again, if you haven't seen our Start Over conference call, get it. Listen to what I'm telling people to do right here, right now. Look, I've taken jobs beneath me my entire career. I'm not telling you to do something I haven't done. In fact, the last job that I worked at, I lost that job 6 times and refused to leave before I finally left. I have taken less pay my entire career. I've taken less on the contract, less on the deal, and less than I deserved. I recently told my staff, if you are found to miss a deal over money, meaning we didn't get a deal because you demanded too much money, you will be fired. I constantly take less than I deserve. These are the times you're in. Many times throughout my career, I've taken less than I deserve. Get over it. This is a mental problem you have. I've worked for nothing before. I have paid people to work for them before. And I've said for years, you're paid 2 ways in your life. Most of your life, you're going to be underpaid. Get used to it. What's the problem here? And number 2, if you're lucky, if you hang in there, if you stay on the field, if you get good at your skills, if you build a big brand, one day, maybe someday, one day, possibly, you'll get overpaid. But you'll never be paid fairly, ever. So knock it off. You're going to be underpaid, and one day, maybe, if you're Drake, you'll be overpaid. But if you're not in the game, you can't get paid at all. Remember, by the way, if you're unemployed and you're at home, you're being paid 0 for your time right now. So don't go into the next interview saying, I'm worth more than that. You're worth nothing right now to the marketplace. The work beneath you. Work beneath you because no one will. People have egos. They think they're worth more. Work beneath me has connected me to people. Listen to what I'm telling you. I have worked beneath me, meaning I was up here and I worked at this level so that I could get in. Working beneath me has connected me to people that ended up giving me opportunities above me. Having work is about getting yourself around others. Your future life, the future you, not the old you, is dependent upon other people. Businesses are made of people. Economy is made of people. Your future is made of people. Get around people. Stay connected by getting some kind of work where you can shine. And by the way, if the job's beneath you, you ought to be great at it. As long as you can get your ego out of the way and say, hey, I'm going to go into this job that is beneath me. It's going to be easy to do because it's beneath me. I'm going to shine at it because it's beneath me. I'm going to be the greatest ever because it's beneath me. This is a dream come true for a fighter. Okay, they're going to give me somebody to fight that can't fight me. I should be great at it. Take the job. Take the fight. I had a lady recently, my daughter wanted singing classes, and the lady told me what she wanted for the singing classes. And I'm like, that's too much money for my girl. Okay, I'm not going to pay that right now, not while we're going through this crisis. And she said, what would you pay? And I told her, I said, this is what we'd pay. Sabrina actually told her. Sabrina was working the deal, negotiating the deal. And the lady's like, I'm worth more than that. Sabrina was like, I know you are. Papa knows you are. What's that got to do with it? Okay? The lady didn't take the job. She should have. I know a guy who disconnected from the workforce. First, he didn't work for a month. He lost his job. He was a valued employee at that company for many, many years. Highly productive. The company went into contraction. The entire industry went into contraction. First, he's off a month. Then it was 3 months. And the next thing you know, it's a year. He reaches out to me. Hey, do you know anybody hiring? I said, yeah, I know some people in this industry that are hiring. He said, that's beneath me. I'm not going to take that job. A year became 2 years. 2 years became 3 years. 3 years became a decade. Now he can't return to work. His health starts to go down. His morale starts to go down. That was in the first 3 months. Imagine what it's like after 10 years. Look, economies that contract like this, things that happen like this, can create jobless, homelessness. Get over this idea that you were a manager, now you got to go back and be an employee. Okay, isn't it that better than being homeless or without work for 3 years? That gentleman I'm telling you about should have taken a job beneath him years before he had to, because any job is better than no job. I want you to get a job today. Any job. And I want you to do it as quickly as possible. If you can't do it today, do it tomorrow. If not tomorrow, do it within 72 hours. If you take on this attitude and use these tips, you could get work within 72 hours in a marketplace where nobody's hiring. And then go to that job and shine and figure out how to improve a situation. It's easier to get a better job because you're shining on a job than to simply get a job. I'm going to show you how to position yourself once you get in that company. That's what Cardone University is all about. How to shine, how to get more productive, how to tie yourself to revenue, how to become invaluable at a company that even during a contraction, they're like, I cannot get rid of that person. Okay, I cannot, because they're too productive in the company. Turn this lost employment transition into the opportunity of your lifetime. You might look back on this loss you're experiencing today, this loss of title, this loss of income, this loss of certainty, and say, damn, I'm glad that thing happened. But if you get a shot today to take a job, if you make the shot to take a job today that is even beneath you, take it. And then we can work on improving your situation. Remember what we say in deal making. Put yourself in play. Remember, nothing's beneath you. Get to work.